I've been baking with my grandmother ever since I was little. I've written a book about me when I was 4.
I think I probably started baking with my grandmother when I was 3.
I want to introduce you to 2 bakers. They have built businesses based on their grandma's treasured recipes. We're talking about being true to yourself. There are over 33 million small business owners in the United States, making up more than 99% of all businesses in the entire country. And 42% of those are women-owned. And small businesses owned by minorities employ approximately 5.9 million people in the United States.
I am here at the Artisan Market with Rosetta Stevenson Hummel, also known as Zetta Marie.
Hi. I specialize in European pastry, and I'm from Texas, so I bring in a little Southern twist. My grandmother's from the backwood of Arkansas, so she grew up in the South. So we make a lot of Southern pastries together. This book is about when I was 4 years old. And every 4-year-old likes to play, and stuff like that. For me, I just knew what I wanted to do. And I know I was supposed to be in the kitchen, but I wasn't sure what. And my grandmother would come visit, we would bake together. We always make tea cake, which is my favorite thing to make. It's like a cookie and cake, cross between, and she always make pecan pie. I kind of doctor it up with bourbon. So I would take her recipes and make it my recipe. People thought, sometimes people would ask me, hello, I'm talking to you, and I'm like, hold on, I'm deaf, I need to read your lips. So my mother found this shirt that I'm not annoying you, but I am deaf for real. But people thought it was a joke, and I'm like, no, I am deaf. I can't hear, so I wear a hearing aid. My mother and my family don't sign. I'm the only one that knows sign language. So my mom always taught me that the world is full of hearing people. How would I communicate? So talking really helped. I've been to Europe, I travel around the world, and I talk to people. So I enjoy interacting and talking, and I let people know that I'm deaf, I read your lip, and I amazed a lot of people for that.
Yeah, you're incredible.
Thank you.
Wow.
So my family doesn't sign, so that's why my mother talked to me, because she doesn't sign at all. But for a long time, people always told me, you can't make it because you're deaf, you won't succeed because you're deaf, oh, you can't do this because you're deaf. But my mother always tells me, you can be anything, you can do anything, it doesn't matter if you're deaf or not. I live in Loveland, based in Loveland right now. I have a bakery in the storefront. It's the lightest commercial bakery in the basement of my home. I went to the Illinois Institute of Art in Chicago. I have 3 degrees in culinary art, certificate in professional baking and pastry, and Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. So basically I manage the front, middle, and the back of the house. I'm married, I have a husband. He's a chef too, I'm a pastry chef. Because my husband's from Bryant, I'm from Texas, so I try to combine my southern country with his mountainous together as a married couple. So I used to write recipes when I was a kid out of my mom's recipe book, and my grandmother would come visit, and we would bake together. And I just love baking. I mean, it's like my passion, it's my dream. I enjoy doing this. And I used to use my sister as my taster, as my customer. So I would ask her, what would you like? And I would write down what she liked, and I would go in the kitchen and make everything. I'll bring it to her like a waitress to her. And then now, here I am. I have my own business, and I love purple. Purple has always been my favorite color. So I have a purple chef jacket. I make croquembouche boost, which is like a cream puff stacked up. And I'm just trying to educate little kids that don't let people take away your dream. If you have a dream and a goal, and you have a desire of something, go for it. I mean, don't wait, don't procrastinate it, just do it. So this is what I enjoy doing, because these are my dreams. This is what I love to do. So I'm trying to teach people with disabilities that they can be anything, they can do anything, and don't let their disability stop them for who they are and what they are. So I'm just trying to help people to pursue their dreams. So I'm just setting an example for the deaf community and people with disabilities.
Wow. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
These ladies, they had a love for these things as a child. Can you think back to a time? Is there a time in your childhood where you had a love for something that you just really enjoyed so much? I have 3 grandmas, and These are all their recipes, and I love when I can pull out an old recipe that is in their handwriting, and I can just, I don't know, it brings me back to even a bigger connection. I'm so glad I didn't ever rewrite these to be neater or something or on a different card, because I'm so thankful that I still have their handwriting on the recipe itself. I mean, it just takes me back. I remember the time, this one right here, this is a peanut butter cup recipe that my grandma Bryant and I made together one summer. And I can remember her saying, like, you know, what do you want to make? We're going to make something. And I thought, oh, this is never going to happen, but how about peanut butter cups? And little did I know, she figured out a way to make peanut butter cups. They were in cupcake holders, so they were huge. And I can remember just bragging about that to my friends, because I thought, wow, whose grandma has ever helped them make peanut butter cups before? I am surely one of the lucky ones. So
My grandmother, you know, I always picture her in the kitchen, you know, because she spent so much time in the kitchen. She had a marble rolling pin, and she had a pink KitchenAid mixer, because everything, she loved pink. It's always nostalgic when I'm, you know, mixing a batter. It's always reminds me of her, you know, being a little kid and eating a ginger cookie, and it's warm out of the oven, and Grammy's over there making more, or she's making a different type of cookie. And the house always smelling so good, like butter and sugar. Like, who doesn't want their house to smell like butter and sugar? My grandmother actually taught me to bake. I think I probably started baking with my grandmother when I was 3. I mean, she had us in the kitchen all the time. She was a quite spectacular woman. She also taught me to paint with oils when I was 11. So that's where I get most of my good stuff, is from my grandmother.
Wow.
So when I was a little girl, my grandmother would make ginger cookies. And when I had to change my dietary restrictions, I could no longer have Grammy's ginger cookies because they had butter and eggs in them. So I actually learned how to convert it to be plant-based, and it tastes like the original. So I'm pretty proud of it. They're one of my favorite cookies. Spicy ginger, sweet molasses. My grandmother used to say molasses is healthy because it has iron in it. So plant-based means all plants, no animal products. So, you know, no butter. You can always substitute butter for coconut oil. I guess veganism, plant-based diet has come a long ways in terms of like the food market. There's so many different products out there now that are like, actually taste good. So it was important to me just to convert some of those recipes that were like comfort food for me, that I wanted to still be able to enjoy without getting sick. I've always kind of been crafty. It's just in my blood, I guess. You know, I taught myself how to hand sew. I learned how to use a machine just by watching my mom and my grandmother. My grandmother taught me at a young age. So we were baking, we were painting, we were making everything. Just, she was really crafty. My mom was also crafty. Like I remember her reupholstering her own chairs, you know, and like trying to figure out how to do it, and sewing all of our Halloween costumes. And my grandmother was the same way. I taught myself beadwork. I used to do a lot of peyote stitch and loom work. And I mean, I've done so many things. And sometimes I think that it's overwhelming because I'm like, oh, well, what do I want to do? But I know how to do all these things. So I don't know which one to pick. The most rewarding things is that I still get to feel like a little kid, because I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that with a sewing machine. Or, oh, I didn't know I could do that with cooking, or, you know, and it's constantly learning new things, and that's what feeds it. So if you're not learning new things and you're just kind of like going through the motions and repeating, you're not going to have fun. You're not going to enjoy it as much. And I think learning is very enjoyable, especially if you're learning about things you really want to know about. So I say, learn as much as you can about it. And then when you're done, maybe move on to something else. so you can feel like a little kid learning new things. And that's what I learned in college, that I loved learning new things. And it was actually very satisfying to the soul to learn new things. I miss college all the time. It's all about the uniform.
That's great. I love the uniform, actually.
Yeah.
And so, how convenient that you're a seamstress and
So
do it all. Oh my gosh.
Colleen made my logo. I just asked her for something and she came up with that logo. And so then I made the dress to fit the logo.
Okay. Nice.
What makes somebody want to start their own business in the first place? I mean, it's got to be something that you enjoy doing. Around 69% of people start their business at home. The average small business owner works 52 hours a week. Small businesses who have a website generate 50% more income than those without. So how can we be more true to ourselves? Maybe you have a natural love for baking or painting or dancing. You know, what are the creative things that you like to do?
Maybe save me.
That's great. Thank you so much.